Hey guys, welcome back. So hopefully you've been with me through air, fire, and water because now we're at the last stop, which is earth signs. Let's get to
Correct. So
it.
earth signs. I love being an earth sign. I'm so grateful that I'm an earth sign. Um, I noticed that growing up, I admired earth sign women so much. I told you guys Michelle about myself, Capricorn. Earth signs, that's Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. So I'll start with Taurus. Tauruses that I've known have lived up to their stereotypes for sure. Introverted, yes. Homebodies, yes. Cancer is also homebodies, and I noticed that in my Cancer friends. All of them are homebodies. So when I think of Taurus, I tend to also think of Cancer. That's one thing I've noticed because they're very similar. Stubborn, yes. We're back to Taurus. Stubborn, homebodies, introverted. They're stubborn. They're represented by the bull. See, lots of the signs and what they're represented by is very it's very, you can see why those things are represented by them. Anyway, why they're represented by those things. So back to Taurus. I feel like with her, the Taurus friend that I'm thinking of, the reason we're able to get close was because I pursued her as a friend. I was like, we're going to be friends. I like you. And I tend to do that in a lot of my friendships. If I like someone, I'll be like, I'm going to pursue you. As I don't tend to like to pursue niggas, but with friends, I'm okay with it. So yeah, I definitely pursued her. She was the kind of person who just wanted to remain in the house and never leave the house. But I was like, it's okay, I got you. And so I was able to get her out of her element. And I think, as a result, it's something that made her love me, is because I was able to just roll with her. Like, it wasn't like I was trying to change her, but I was able to accept her and still get her to do things outside of her comfort zone. And the stubborn thing is very true. This girl, all of us, her friends, her parents, there's this decision she made in college, and she would not listen to any of us. We all tried, and she still wouldn't listen to any of us. Now she kind of regrets it, but then you would not have been able to convince her, because when they decide they feel some type of way about something, I don't think anyone can convince them out of it except themselves, honestly. Which is exactly why they're fixed signs. So yeah, Taurus, Scorpio, and I think Aquarius and Leo, those are your fixed signs. They're very hard to get. If they're fixated on something, good luck. It's very hard to get them off that thing. That's why they're fixed signs. Anyway, back to Tauruses. So yeah, I've definitely noticed that about them. And they're very loyal. And when they love you, they will love you, which to their detriment. The reason I say that is even the Taurus men that I've dated, Taurus and Libra men, I feel like I will always be able to pull them back in if I feel like it. I'm not the kind of person who, if someone is into me but I'm not into them, I will not encourage them. I don't like that because I wouldn't want that. Taurus and Libra are men who, to me, I feel like the ones that I've experienced dating, the ones that I've dated, I feel like if I decide I want to keep them on a leash and keep them interested in me forever, the kind of men who I feel like I'll always have access to them and I'll always be able to pull them back in if I decide to. And it makes me a bit sad for them, mostly the Taurus ones, because I feel like Taurus actually will try to get over you. And they'll even pretend to themselves and you that they're over you. But the fact is, you just do one thing and you won't even intend it to be taken as you wanting them now in your life, and they'll be back like this, and it's just like, that's not how I wanted you to take this. So I feel like that's something can be used against them. Is I feel like they really are fixed signs, and they really are the bull. Like, when they get stuck on something, they're really stuck on it. And it can end up being very toxic for them, because I feel like people who may not even be good partners to them, they'll end up staying with that person just because when they're in, they're in. So it's something that makes me sad for them. When I think of the Tauruses in my life, I don't think any of them are in healthy relationships, honestly, for that reason. So yeah, that's something that I've definitely noticed. Taurus and Libra, the Taurus and Libra men in my life, you guys should be happy that I'm not the bitch that's trying to keep you on a leash, because It's too easy. Y'all make it too easy. Seriously, work on that. Stop making it too easy for people to pull you in. Alright, so, like, no, like, I had to make that rant because it makes me very sad for them. And then Virgo. Virgo, I have a family member and friend who are Virgo, and one thing in common that I can see that I've seen in all the Virgos that I haven't dated Virgo men actually. I feel like I might find them boring if I'm being honest. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. And not only boring, but I feel like we would argue, and I'd just be like, I don't want you in my life anymore, peace. Honestly. So I think that's why I haven't dated like Virgo men for some reason. Anyway, but back to the family member and friend. You could have a PhD in a topic. You could have a PhD in it, like, and be stating all the facts, and they'll still argue with you. And it's just like I know about this better than you, and they'll still talk to you like they're the ones teaching you about that topic, and it's just like I find it very interesting. That's definitely something I've noticed about them. They both have that in common. It's so funny, but Capricorn and Virgo are also very similar. So the things that used to irk me about Virgos, I have learned to love them, because that would be like finding myself annoying, and I don't like finding myself annoying. So I've decided I love these things about them. Some of the things, but but there's a lot that we have in common that I didn't have to work at. And so when it comes to the stability thing, for example, being honest about how you feel, being confrontational, discipline, being reliable. Like, there's a lot of core values and morals that we feel are important. Being ambitious, being organized. Like, these are all things that Capricorn and Virgo have in common, and we respect each other for it. So I feel like they're people that I definitely respect, but they can irk me when it comes to talking about something that you have so much knowledge about, and they'll still dismiss it just because I don't know. I find that annoying. When it comes to the stereotypes about them being organized, yes. Micromanagers, yes. They hate being micromanaged, but they love managing other people. Very true. I've noticed that in both of them. Let's see. Another thing we have in common is having high standards. What I like about Virgo and Capricorn is we're the kind of people who we have high standards of everyone, but we have even higher standards of ourselves. So by the time we expect you to do something, it's because we can see ourselves doing it, and we're able to do it. So we wouldn't subject you to something that we can't do. It's just like it doesn't make sense to us. It would make us feel like a hypocrite. So that's one thing I like about Virgos, is they get that. They too understand the importance of having high standards and expecting like things from people. And whereas I feel like with Virgos, they have more patience for people not meeting their standards. So I respect that about them, as because we Capricorns, we also have high standards, but we just don't have the patience. It's like, I mean, we must really, really love you by the time we have patience to deal with the things that we feel you're not meeting. Whereas Virgos, they're more forgiving, and they'll even help you try and meet that standard. Whereas Capricorn's like, I'm sure even if I helped you, you'll never meet it. So peace, I'm not helping you. Oh God, it can be so bad. We can be so bad. It's just having to deal with it is just exhausting. So we just don't see the point. But Virgo, I think, likes helping and managing, and so they'll give you like a way to go about achieving that standard. They like that. So yeah, I hope I've made sense. Then the last sign is Capricorn. Do you know how awesome it is to end and begin the year? I mean, come on. How many signs can say that? That's what I thought. I like being a Capricorn, love it. Because we're bomb. We're smart. We're go-getters. We have high standards. We are very big on justice. And we like things to go well. We how can I put it? So we like justice and fairness and organization. and I feel like that makes us good leaders. I like how as Capricorns, by the way, I'm not just talking about myself as I'm talking about Capricorns. I'm thinking of other Capricorns that I've experienced and the ones that I'm close to. So, because I have a Capricorn, one of my best friends is a Capricorn, and there's other Capricorns that I've gotten to know over time, and also dating wise. So I like how I like that with Capricorns we're very passionate about. Because again, we're ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is very big on karma and timing and people getting and lessons being learned. And so we are very aware of that. We are very aware of the fact that, because for us as Capricorns, we because we're ruled by Saturn, we tend to get our punishments very early. Like when a Capricorn fucks up, our karma is going to come like this. Whereas, so we're very aware of that as a thing, and it kind of guides us in the decisions we make, because we're very aware of karma. And so it irks us very, very, very much when people do not get what's deserving of them, because we're always getting we're always being punished. So when other people are not being punished for what they're supposed to be punished for, it's like, all right, we might even work to make sure they're punished for what they've done. That's how we are. So that's why, for example, when my friend described me and other Capricorns as God's wrath on earth, I understood why he said that, because I was like, yep, I can see that. Because it's just, I mean, if you do this, then you should get the punishment for it, honestly. Don't get me wrong, I don't think, it's not that I don't believe in forgiveness or grace, but the way I see it, if people who do not deserve bad things happening to them are having those bad things happen to them, then you, as someone who's doing the bad thing, you should get the punishment that you're deserving of. So yeah. I hope I don't sound bitter. Yeah, sometimes people describe us as bitter, so there's that. Let's see, boring, there's been that one. I don't see it. I would never describe us as boring. We've been described as cold. We've been described as cold. Oh my god, in fact, recently someone called me this Sagittarius that I was in the talking stage to, and we're no longer in the talking stage anyway. This was 2 weeks ago when he said this. I'm still mad about it. Like, how dare you? So I was telling him one of the reasons that I want to go into emergency medicine is I like for those who don't know, I'm in med school, I don't know if I mentioned that. Anyways, one of the reasons I want to go into emergency medicine is I like that you don't have to do, there's no patient follow-up, right? So I like that. I like not having, like, I did my part when you were in front of me, that's all that matters. And so I'll pass you on to, the specialty that will take care of this and that. And then I like that when I'm off work, I'm off work. I like those things. So I was telling him about that. It's like, that's pretty cold. And I was like, I mean, I understand. I really do get it when people call us cold. But I feel like we just organize how we feel and how we approach things. And maybe that's the reason they call us cold. So I just feel like we like to be efficient. I almost said effective. We like to be efficient in the way we approach things, and in the way we spend our energy, and in the way that we care, in the way that we do things. And so because we can be pretty good at managing those things, we end up being cold. We end up being cold for it. So I can see it, but I don't agree that we're cold. I think we can be very warm beings. What else about Capricorn? So we're represented by the sea goat. The sea, because apparently we're half water. And honestly, I'm such a soft bitch that honestly I can see it. I cry a lot too, so I can see why we might be half water. We're not talking about that. But we'll talk about the goat thing. We're goats, okay? We are the greatest of all time for a reason. We are represented by the sea goat because we're just gonna keep climbing. Like, when we have a goal in mind, regardless of what we go through, we're going to keep our mind on that goal and keep working our way towards it. If it means putting aside our emotion for a long while as we focus on something, we'll do it. We're able to do that. And I love that. I'm glad we have it. Because otherwise it would mean, I mean, there's so much that I've had to deal with that if I wasn't a Capricorn, I feel like I wouldn't be able to do it. Because I would be breaking, I'd be broken. During a lot of the hard times in my life, I'd be broken if it wasn't for the fact that I'm a Capricorn. So I'm glad I'm one. I really am. But yeah. So in conclusion, yeah, thank you for watching. I hope, depending on your sign, you're able to relate to a lot of what I was saying. I hope those of you who knew I was talking about you didn't take anything personally. And you know that I love you. And I was just talking about you as I experience you. I tried as much as possible to talk about both the qualities that I like and dislike in signs, so that I would try and be as realistic as possible. So it's not taken the wrong way, but everybody care about, especially. But yeah, please let me know in the comments if you think if you related to what I was saying about your sign. And if you didn't think there was much astrology before the video, and I've kind of, got you a bit more interested in astrology as a result, please let me know. But yeah, let me know what you think of the video in general. Like and subscribe and share. Thank you for watching. Seriously, thank you.